Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 87 of the Tudor Times today, and we are a set of very, very lucky boys because we are safe in the Premier League despite losing every single game since the last episode. I didn't actually realise Brentford were playing on the Friday night, so I've coincidentally skipped past and ruined what would have been a very tense season penultimate finale before we played Brentford on the final day. But as it is, Brentford have played their 37th game, they've lost it, and thanks to that, we would have been safe on 33 points, which is embarrassing really. We're going to need to do better next year, but we can now relax and play two of the bottom three on the final 2 days of the season. So if you're looking forward to that and seeing a second season syndrome that is sure to kick in with Hemel Hempstead, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. You can find a link to the other playlist, The Head Coach, up in the eye above. You can support the show as a channel member down below if you wish to. And there's also links up there to the new Review the 92, the football podcast, including the new monthly ramble, and the Twitch channel for regular live streams. We'll be live later tonight with a bit more FM22. However, let's reflect on luck. Because if we have a look at the schedule, we're getting criticised by fans, we're getting lambasted by the media for our tactics, and we're getting battered by everyone. You were with me when we played Southampton and Chelsea and put up two pretty good fights. We did the same against Leicester but lost 1-0 at home. Max Taylor and Ricky J. Jones picked up injuries. We got battered 4-1 at Liverpool. It didn't go well. Josh O'Connor got a consolation, but we did rest most of the squad for that. A 3-2 defeat at home to Leeds. We fought back from 1-0 down. We fought back from 2-1 down. And Charlie McNeil, crucially, got his first goal for the club. But we did manage to lose the game somehow in the end. And in the final one, a 1-0 defeat away at Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah, the man I kept criticising, he is a machine in this game. And he scored the winning goal again. But for us, we've now got what would have been probably two of the most pressurised football games you'll ever see. But Brentford thankfully have saved us from that because we were in 14th. All the other sides have overtaken and pulled away. But as many of you said at the start of the season, you only need three sides to be worse. And in Brighton in particular and in Brentford now, we've managed to get that because they've lost 6 on the bounce themselves. A much tougher run of fixtures. And this one for them is the one they would have wanted to be in with a shout of still when they got to it. But for us, safety is secured. It is an absolutely awful run of fixtures that we've been on. But we have been able to secure safety despite doing absolutely nothing to contribute to it. So aside from that, not much going on to be honest. We're looking potentially at a stadium for next year because we are still selling out every week despite the awful results. So maybe that's something we can look at. But for now, let's just go and get into the final 2 games and party and celebrate and give some of these youngsters a run out. Let's go and get through it. Okay, so we are back for the lineup for the first game at home to Watford, the side that ruined Ricky J. Jones' career, the side that we beat 5-1 in the Championship last year, and the side that will be going straight back down a year after they came up. But for us today, we've gone for a few youngsters and we've started to replace those going out in the summer. So the injury to Max Taylor's actually been good. It's given us a chance to play O'Brien, Hanifan and even Thornley a little bit more. Burnell's come in for Scott Egan for the final 2 games. He will get a farewell off the bench this weekend though. And then Moreira's in central midfield too. Terry Clark as the number 10. We just want to get them as much senior football as possible. So our lineup in full for today is John Moore in goal, really improving. We're going to have a look at some of these in the end of season review next time out. But so many of these players are improving and reaching Premier League level. But I think it's clear to see we need 3 or 4 bits of quality and maybe even a slight tactical change too. Don't forget we've got a number 10 coming in the summer. I'm not sure that'll be enough. But with Moore in goal, we've got Armin and Young the fullbacks, O'Brien and Hanifan in at centre half. Burnell getting a rare start in the holding role. He'll be first choice there next year, with Flores, Moreira and Terry Clark making up the rest of the diamonds. And then Ricky J. Jones just starting to pick up injuries the second half of the year and certainly stopped scoring goals quite a lot, with Charlie McNeil alongside him, now rated the better of the two. But let's get into the game, see if we can end the awful losing run and really enjoy playing with that little bit of freedom. Now safety secured and we'll be a Premier League club next year. Even with second season syndrome, that's 200 million quid. Back in a moment for kickoff. Well, that's two changes in the diamond for us. The Watford side, few good players in there, but a lot of regens and a lot of players who are sort of neither here nor there. It's a little bit of a mismatched side, but that's so often the case with Watford. Players pulled from all over the world. We'll see how they get on today. Sergei Semak's in charge. Will he keep his job when they go down? We'll wait and see. But for now, we get into the first half. We haven't won at Kenilworth Road in ages. Let's see if we can change that here. Well, Brighton are picking up a result, which means as it stands, Watford are going bottom of the Premier League, and it's been an awful and very quiet 25 minutes, but we're coming forward now with Hanifan, who's much more confident on the ball, carries it into midfield. He's now down the left wing, delivers a great cross actually. McNeil heads just over. But that's what we want from our modern centre-halves. Carry the ball into the middle, feel confident on the ball, in possession, and Burnout doing a good shielding job in front of the back four there. As Chem Campbell works down the left. Someone we had in FM20, I think, with Charlton, if I remember rightly. As Van Streen gets down the left again for Watford. They're keeping the pressure on this side. Campbell on the byline, keeps it in. Van Streen's pressured, but goes back to Almada. He finds Van Streen, lost by the fullback, into the back post. Bernal does really well. Moreira clears. Ricky J. Jones up for McNeil. Could have played a 1-2. Just took that little bit too long. Flores releases him though. I think McNeil's offside. And you can normally tell when they finish it with a plum, it normally means it's going to count for nothing. VAR checking the goal review. There's the signal. Goal disallowed. 26 gone. Been a decent first half performance. Oh, it's a free kick for Watford. Right by the byline. Dangerous position. O'Brien heads away. Jones will chase it. But Tommy Doyle, the former City youngster, is there first. Almada's second cross is headed away by Armin. Doyle recycles yet again though. Goes wide to Henriksen. Watford with a chance to cross. Oh, it's a great ball in. And the first save from Moore was good. The second block from Ryan Young on the line was absolutely special. Very unfortunate not to be behind there. And we'll take it because if we can keep a clean sheet, just stop the rot. It'll be a real confidence boost for these lads. At half time, it's 0-0. It's been a very unspectacular game. But anything other than a defeat, and we can start to celebrate because it's been so long since we've had anything else. Into the second half we go. It's nice to finally face a side with nothing to play for. Well, a quarter of the game to go. It has been a really solid performance. Looking at the stats with a better side, I'm thinking about what changes to make, and I'm going to commit now because we've got to try and win the game still. So I'm going to bring Josh O'Connor on for Charlie McNeil. I'm going to bring Terry Clark off for Kamari Doyle. And what else do we do? That's the question. I know O'Brien's been struggling for fitness, so I feel we should bring on Harry Thornley. Might harm us defensively, but we're going to go out on a limb to try and win it. 20 left, can we nick a winner? Well, a strange message with 5 to go from the dugout. Watford have played with more caution. They've changed their approach. Why? What have they got to lose from attacking? As Flores puts in a free kick from the left-hand side, it's absolutely useless. And Rushworth in the Watford goal can catch it easily. He distributes long, but it falls for Flores. And now Ricky J. Jones. I would love a stoppage time winner here. It would just make us feel like we've earned survival rather than stumbled over the line thanks to Brentford. As Flores finds Doyle. He turns left to Josh O'Connor. Up towards Doyle again. He's one-on-one. It's a great save, Rushworth. Did really well with that. Into 3 minutes added on. Please let us nick a winner. We've got no Scott Egan at the back post, but Flores able to take it. The commentary says he's going to waste time, but I haven't put that on at all, and I don't want to. We're guaranteed safety. Go out and win the game. Thornley with a free header just over the bar. And I think it's going to finish goalless. What a game to come back for, eh? No goals, hardly any attacks, next to no highlights. But crucially, a game without a defeat, a game with a clean sheet, and a game without a loss. It's all you can ask for. We started to have a better performance there. I know it's against one of the poorest sides in the league. But 35 points with that goal difference, even if Brentford had won, it would probably have kept us safe. So that gives me a little more recognition. But of course, they're the side we've got on the final day. So it's going to be a big one for us again in terms of vindication. Liverpool have run away with the league. Tottenham chasing 4th place from City, but the goal difference probably a bit too much. Although both sides have still got 3 games in hand. And then there's a chase for 7th, 6th and 5th as well. So not sorted out in terms of Europe. Hopefully in 3 or 4 years down the line, we'll be fighting up at that end too. Let's skip ahead to the final day of the season. Great to finally get a point on the board. Fitness test time ahead of what was supposed to be the big climax to the Premier League season. Instead, we get to enjoy the day while Brentford face the music of their own fans and relegation. It's 3rd v 4th at the top. Arsenal v City is a big game. Spurs right in that mix too. But thankfully, and I couldn't be happier to say it, we're playing for nothing. So let's go and get ahead to the team selection. I'll imagine it'll be pretty similar because what do we have to bring in? No younger players, no players that are going to make it. I think the best squad we can pick is the one we've got. I'm tempted to bring in Thornley in centre-half position instead of O'Brien, and I think I'm going to do that. But the rest of the team will stay the same. It's a wonderful side. It's a side that's helped us survive. And no matter how low the points total and how many defeats, it doesn't matter. They've done the job. Let's go and get into the final game of the season. One change to our team. But what about Brentford? Have they got any players that can impress us that we can maybe nick in the summer? That's the market we've got to look at now. Well, quite a few originals and players that are in the start of the game still there. So the likes of Aya, Lewis, Masengo, Kochu, Janelt, Rafinha and Tony. There's got to be a lot of ageing in that squad. Even on the bench, the likes of Bazunu, Krau. We're talking about all players that will be 30 plus. So I'm a little bit surprised by that team. And maybe that explains why they're going down. And Gareth Southgate, manager who clearly likes having a younger side, has ended up with a very experienced one. So the former England manager not having a great career in club football here. But as we go into the first half at Brentford, again a fairly short journey. We can just enjoy our day out in the sun and hopefully add to that unbeaten run, stretch it to 2. Well, this might end up being one of the shortest episodes of the series because there's nothing happening. Half an hour gone, we've had 2 shots on target but none seen on camera. The expected goals is low, the possession's low. Everything's off, isn't it? And somehow we're going to get to half time without a goal, a chance or a highlight. That is odd. Considering once you've secured safety, you would expect the freedom to come into the play. You'd expect more goals. And now we've just become this solid defensive block. I mean, it's a great sign for the young defenders we're bringing into the team. And maybe looking ahead to next year, we could play a back 5 because we've got 3 brilliant young centre-halves. But it doesn't do much for our confidence going forward. Hopefully Cordes, the number 10 from Porto, can make a real difference to our creativity going forward. Give us that little bit of a threat in behind because Doyle's got the pace but not the quality. Clark got the quality but not the pace or the experience. And here come Brentford on the attack. Bravo into Tony. Good save by Moore. What the hell is that? Armin's tried to pass it back to him from an impossible angle instead of just clearing it. Tony slides in as the back pass comes and puts it in the back of the net. And take back everything I said about the defence because that is one of the worst howlers I've ever seen back there. And now Brentford have got their tails up. They're going forward again down the right. Rafinha into the box. Crosses for Rodallega. It's cleared away downfield. It is not good at all. And it falls for Rodallega on the left to Lewis. Chance to cross from the left-hand side. Brentford really pepped up by the goal. And Janelt comes down the left again as Rafinha's at the back stick, heads over the bar. Changes need to be made. Ricky J. Jones has finished the season woefully. I'm going to take him off now. Terry Clark for Kamari Doyle again. And then the third one, I don't really know where to go with it, to be honest. I could take Armin off at left back, but we've not got a great sub there. There's probably one of the midfielders. I'm going to go Flores, who I think has earned his rest. Leo Hubert can get a run out as the box-to-box. Officially, that's our best centre midfield partnership. Well, more disappointment. Brentford have dominated this game, looking at the stats. It's been a really poor effort on the final day. And one of the things we've got, you've noticed that this season, at the start we had that little bit of momentum, which just carried us through for a little while as we get stuck with Krau going forward there. And Moore, I swear to you, he's brilliant off camera. And then every time we turn up on one of these, he makes a mistake. Whether it's a win, loss or a draw, he's always dropping a clanger. But we'll go back to the start of the season. We had that little bit of momentum which carried us the first couple of months. The middle of the season, we got players in at the start of the January window that made an impact, carried us a month or two. And here, we're going to need the same again this summer. Oh, Moore, what are you doing, man? I keep talking up how much you've improved. And you go every single time to prove me wrong when we're on camera. The most worrying thing about this performance is the fact that they're all knackered as well, despite having a week off between games. Where on earth has the quality gone? Where on earth has the fitness gone? Where's that youth and exuberance gone? Kamari Doyle nicks us a goal. Ryan Young assists it down the right. But it is nothing more than a consolation. It is not a good performance. Absolutely awful defensive display and some of the worst goals you will ever see us give away. But it does not matter. We would have taken at the start of the season, losing to the side in 18th place on the final day if we were still going to stay up. And that's exactly what we've done. It's by the skin of our teeth. It's in 17th place and it's with no win in the final 8 league games. But we are still a Premier League side. So let's go and look at the table for confirmation because I want to enjoy that moment. 17th place, 3 points clear of Brentford, 6 clear of Brighton, who finished the season really well, and 8 clear of Watford, who finished bottom. We'll have to see if any of those have got star players in the summer. We're still a few points behind the rest. We're nowhere near getting into the top half of the league. But next season, the objective is the same again. Finish 17th or anywhere above. It's certainly been a challenging season. It's certainly been the low points total we were expecting. Let's be honest, at the start of the season, 33 points shouldn't keep you up, but it would have here, and we got 35. Another 8 million in for finishing in 17th place. And if we go to the competition screen, we can confirm that Hemel Hempstead Town are a Premier League football club for the 2031-32 season. It is the perfect achievement for the 10-year mark. It is ahead of schedule. This is when I expected to be fighting to get up to the Premier League. But we did that surprisingly and undeservedly via the playoffs. And this year, we've made the most of it, but only just. What it does mean is we're going to have a very big summer and a very big transfer special coming up in a few episodes' time. But the most important thing is that it's the 10-year mark. It's the end of the season. And in the next episode, we are going to be back for an end-of-season review. We're going to probably look off the pitch things like the stadium. And we'll also try and be a bit more brutal because this summer, we are going to have to extend the wage bill. And we're going to have to upgrade this squad a bit more because that team, it's punch us luck. We're not going to survive again next season. We have to do some work. If you did enjoy this episode though and you're looking forward to that, followed by the transfer special in 4 days time, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the season because realistically, it's a couple of odd draws like the Watford one that kept us up. That's the only difference between ours and Brentford's record. If you want to stay up to date, see the end of season review, how English football looks after 10 years, and what might happen in the transfer special at the start of the next season, then subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. The head coach is well into the swing of the season now. You can find that playlist up in the eye above. There's also links there to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and the new Review the 92 focusing on Goodison Park and Everton. But at the moment, we're going to be finishing the season on a large winless run with lots of fan criticism about our tactics and a big amount of work to do next season. So I'm going to shut up and start doing that, and hopefully I'll see you here again next time.